so, so, so the beautiful choir of most of the parishes where we're in are members of Couples for Christ.
Yeah, all right. Now, so really does integrate well into the parishes. And I understand you have some conferences for the clergy as well.
Yes, yes.
What do they do?
The clergy.
The clergy conferences.
Conferences. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. It's a venue for dialogue, formal dialogue with the clergy and the lay, stressing how each can play its role better vis-a-vis one another and the church, and it's for a greater understanding of how each one, clergy and lay can work together for the church, for all the church.
Father Mitch, there's also a very conscious effort on the part of Couples for Christ to really present itself as a lay arm that the church can really be on its side in propagating not only the faith, but also strengthening the kinds of services that is made available by the parish to the parishioners. And so we have really a conscious effort and deliberate effort at really strengthening our relationship with the clergy.
Yeah, it sounds exactly as the kind of mission that Vatican II envisioned for the laity. That this is a lay apostolate that's very active and engaged in the secular world, not just in church, but you're engaged in the world where people are living everyday life.
That's right.
And that is the primary role of the laity.
Father, there's also a very important aspect of the life and work of Couples for Christ that is not only very real, but we really take on a very proactive and dynamic posture about being a Catholic lay organization. It's not only about being active and visible in the church and the parishes, but also making sure that that kind of dynamism and expression of evangelization is also carried out into our own professional backgrounds. So if we are doctors, we ensure that we are also doing our own work of evangelization on the professional side. So it goes without saying that it's really not only within the parish, but also well outside the parish that Couples for Christ seeks its presence known.
This is something I've been trying to emphasize a lot from the teachings of Pope John Paul II. We need the laity to bring their faith into the public forum. Yeah. Joe, you were involved in the government and as a lawyer, and it was important to be bringing aspects of the faith into the government work as well, right?
Yes, in fact, that brought a lot of hope, because we do have problems in our governments, as in many governments, and when we bring Christ to the workplace, we're able to, to make the personal transformation happen in that milieu as well, but still in the context of family, and it's not only in government, in business corporations, in the armed services, in prisons, in schools, and it's really emphasizing also that we need to live out our Christianity 24/7, wherever the Lord has planted us. Yeah.
And this is something that we see many kinds of scandals in business, in government, in medicine, and in all fields, because every field is populated by sinners. I've been telling young men interested in the priesthood recently, no matter what happens to the global economy, we priests don't run out of sinners. And my confessor will concur with that. And one of the things that we need, we don't just say, well, that's too bad, we just got sinners. Rather, what you're doing is bringing Christ into these situations, beginning with the family, as a place for us to radiate.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, we likened our work in bringing Christ to the marketplace. And so even in our practice of work, everyday work, so we proclaim Christ in the home, in the church, and outside the church. In the outside world where we are active 24/7. So we try to
Should ask
make
Monica to watch.
our own contribution by our own
So she
way
should
of
have an
witnessing
idea
to the
what is
Catholic
Couples
faith.
for Christ.
And in the first Asian country that is to be Christian,
Brother.
and it's a thoroughly Catholic country. Korea is going to be catching up.
Right.
It's just a great gift, and China's on the way. You know, there's some great things going on throughout Asia, as in Africa, and it's really wonderful to see the way that
one
you
who's
were,
telling you
you know, allowed to
Later, we'll talk about
use
it.
this Catholic gift in your culture. You know, you
Somebody
don't,
stop
we
me.
have a lot of our atheists get real scared of Christianity. They're a bunch of scaredy cats. They really are a bunch of cowards. They say, "Oh, you can't bring it into business and stuff." They don't want us to have it. You have more freedom than we do.
That's right, and I think it's really a great gift that we have to fully make use of to the best that we can.
And you know, Father Mitch, our patients, they ask us to pray over them before surgery.
Do you get trouble with the lawyers if you do that?
No, not in the
Good for
Philippines.
you. I like the kind of lawyers you guys have.
Actually, no problem with the lawyers, especially if they're already with Couples for Christ. They
that's
encourage
great.
that even more.
See, our ACLU would go nuts. You know, there's a school where they aren't even allowed to have red and green paper at Christmas time. The scaredy cats, I'm telling you, the atheists are cowardly. You know, we need to learn from your boldness of bringing Christ as the focus of the family to then radiate into the culture. That's a great gift. I have to take a little break, but we're going to come back in a couple of minutes. And what we want to do is get your questions and comments as well as those of our studio audience. So please stay with us.
Join Father Mitch next time when he talks with Joe and Abby Lieutenant.